and then make sure that it is reliable delivery to ensure that each segment that the source sends, anything I send to get, I make sure that get will receive everything that I send to him. Same data delivery. If I send this thing to net and I give him and I send this thing in segments or in segments, okay, and each segment I give it a tag, I give it a number. So if I send these numbers in sequential order, if a rough gets device will make sure that it turns this thing back to the original format that I sent it. So also TCP feature include flow control. TCP will make sure, or flow control will make sure that it regulates the amount of data that the source will transmit, and this data that the source will transmit will have to affect the window size of the destination. So we'll have to look at what those window size and blah 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 things are. So the TCP header here includes, so I will make sure that I give you guys with this. You go online, make research about the TCP header, read about them, the source and destination port identification, like these are here. The source, the destination, the sequence number, acknowledgement number, all of them I explained here. But I want you guys to make sure that you make some more research about these things and know what it all about. They're all about. So when a TCP transport header is going, it includes the source port number, the destination port number, the sequence number, the acknowledgement number. The most important thing here also is the window size, the checksum, and the control bit, and the header length. These are important bits or important size of or parts of the TCP header, and the TCP header is of 20 bytes in total, and all of it inclusive. It must be intact before the data is seen value. So UDP features include data is reconstructed. No. Any segments lost are not resent. No session establishment. It does not inform the sender about the resource availability. So what UDP does is that it just sends. Whether it will arrive or not, it will just send. Alright, so UDP is stateless protocol. That means it does not track individual communication. Reliability handled by applications itself, not by UDP. So multiple separate communications can be used, and then there will be interleaved. Users expect to simultaneously receive and send emails or view websites and make sure many things also. That's what multiplexing is going to do, and separate individual communication. So we have source port numbers and destination port numbers. So that is the TCP port, that's TCP and UDP port. So we have different port numbers, and then we have to go through that and look at them. So we have well-known port numbers and we have dynamic port numbers, and that's all. So we have socket pairs also. The socket pair is the source port number plus the destination port number. So that is the socket pair. So but the source port number and the destination port, the source port number can be a well-known port number, and the destination port can be a well-known any dynamic port number or randomly generated port number. So we have port numbers in different groups. We have the well-known port numbers, we have registered port numbers, and we have dynamic port numbers. So we will use in a lot of times the well-known port numbers like the HTTP port 80, port 23, and sort of like that. Port 25, port 80, sort of things like that. Port 443. They are all port numbers that are used most of the time. They are well-known port numbers for well-known applications that are used in our everyday life. So dynamic port numbers are here, so you can be able to familiarize yourself with this. You can know that from 0 to 1023 well-known port numbers, from 1024 to 49151 registered port numbers that are used by IANA, and the dynamic port private port numbers are from 49152 to 65535, and these are usually dynamic by the client's OS, and they used to identify the client application during conversation or communications. So your port numbers are right here, so you can watch this and then you can go through them. I think you have this already. So port numbers are here, and the application or protocols that use those port numbers are right there, so you can pay attention. Alright guys, so TCP and UDP comes here. So how does TCP conversations occur? And this is how it happens. The client is sending, for instance, I am sending email, or for instance I am using a HTTP request, and then it has to go to another place, or I am sending an email from my device to another person's device. So for instance, I'm sending email to this guy to get. So you can use a well-known port number, and then the server will receive these. The destination will not be, the source will be on any dynamic port number, randomly generated dynamic port number, and then the destination will have to be a clear TCP well-known port number, and then a port number that is well known, and then it will have the destination from the server would be the well-known port number, and the source will be a randomly generated dynamic port number. So that is exactly what you're gonna have. For instance, here I am sending SMTP request from source port 1. So the destination here is I have to request the server if the server is available, and the server will have to make sure it communicates to client 2. So that's exactly what happens. So my source would be any dynamic randomly generated dynamic port number. Let's say, for instance, 49152 is a dynamic port number, and that will be my source, and my destination will be a valid port 80, that's HTTP, and then the server now has the HTTP 80 and it has a port 25 for SMTP for receiving the